Welcome to Literature Lane. I'm Kaya.
And I'm Haley.
Today we're discussing the book A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This book is about a young American who wants to fight in the Italian army.
While he is away at war, he meets a nurse by the name of Catherine Barkley. They instantly fall in love. They become closer when Henry is injured at war.
He eventually recovers and joins the war again, but while retreating, he flees the war and meets up with Catherine, and they take a boat to Switzerland to escape the war completely.
Let's check in on Henry and Catherine.
Mrs. Henry has had hemorrhage. Can I go in? No, not yet. The doctor's with her. Is it dangerous? It is very dangerous.
I knew she was gonna die, and I prayed that she would not. Don't let her die. Oh, God, please don't let her die. I'll do anything for you if you don't let her die.
I'm going to die. I hate it.
You're gonna be all right, Kat. Can I get you anything?
No. You won't do the same thing as you say the same thing as the other girls, will you?
Never.
You're talking too much. Mr. Henry must go now. You can come back again later. Don't be silly. You're not going to die.
Don't worry, darling. I'm not a bit afraid. It's just a dirty trick.
You brave, dear sweet.
As you can see, Henry is devastated from the loss of Catherine and the baby.
Henry has now lost everything that he's gained from the war, and war is becoming hell for him.
This isn't the only time war has been hell for Henry.
In the beginning of the book, Henry also thinks this. As you can see on page 3, he says, "At night you could see the flashes from the artillery. In the dark it was like summer lightning, but the nights were cool and there was not the feeling of a storm coming."
This shows Lieutenant Henry's numbness to what's happening around him. He compares the war to something terrifying, but still beautiful, and he doesn't quite yet know the danger of the situation he's in.
Another quote that shows war is hell in Henry's mind is, "War is not won by victory. One side must stop fighting. Why don't we stop fighting? If they come down into Italy, they will get tired and go away. They have their own country, but no, instead there is war."
This is said by Pacini at the beginning of the book. This shows how all the countries just want this unneeded war.
On page 51 it says, "There is a class that controls a country that is stupid and does not realize anything and never can. This is why we have this war."
This quote explains the only reason why this terrible war is going on.
In a conversation between Henry and an Englishman driving the ambulance to a hospital away from the front, Henry says, "The man on the stretcher over me has a hemorrhage." "How is he?" the Englishman called back. "We're almost up." "He's dead, I think," I said. The drops fell very slowly as they fall from an icicle after the sun has gone.
This also fits in the war is hell category because he is even stunned by the fact that the man in the structure just died above him. Lieutenant Henry isn't at all bothered that he is covered on the man's blood.
After this short commercial break, we'll explain our take on the war.
Buy a Farewell to Arms. Only $4.95.
And we're back.
Here at Literature Lane, we all believe war is hell.
In the article War is Hell by the Washington Examiner, it talks about the Great War and its effects on people.
The article states, "The U.S., fortunate to have gotten involved very late in the war, nonetheless suffered over 100,000 military deaths."
This loss of humanity becomes unjust when it gets so high, making war an all-out slaughter. This becoming hell.
In the article, "Yes, war is really hell," it says, "then there's the risk of just trying to run away down the wrong road at the wrong time, like those Iraq families fleeing to Syria, chewed up by cluster bombs or riddled with bullets."
This explains how even if you're an innocent civilian trying to run from the war, it could be hell for you too.
In American Progress War is Hell article, it reveals, when you go to war, especially in a country without a modern physical and financial infrastructure, you can expect to waste a great deal of money, whether on inefficient production, mistaken calculation, local corruption, or contractor failure and fraud.
This quote explains that if your economy is struggling and you enter war, your country begins to spiral down a bad path.
War is Hell by Gregory Foster says, "War is barbarism because it accomplishes nothing, at least nothing constructive or productive, that couldn't be accomplished by other means."
This text describes how little war accomplishes and how useless it is and just causes trouble.
That's all the time we have for today, folks.
See you next time!